Another way to think about your social self is when you identify yourself as part of a social group or a social community. Okay, so for example, if you have filled up that blank with I am dash with things like I am a Hindu, or I am a Muslim, I am a Parsi, I'm a Punjabi, or I'm a Sardar, stuff like that, or I'm a student of class 12D. So those kinds of thoughts, those kinds of thinking pattern also will come into the category of your social self, because here you're thinking of yourself in relation to a group that you feel you belong to. You are identifying yourself as part of a group. Okay, so when we say we are Indian, I am an Indian. Again, that would be my social self, because I'm identifying myself as part of a group. So I hope after this you would be a little more clear about what comes in the category of personal self and what comes in the category of social self. So if you're thinking about one person, you yourself and who you are, it is you thinking about your personal self. And if you're thinking of yourself in relation to other people, your relationship with others, whether it's another person, another relationship, or a group that you belong to, you're thinking about your social self. And another thing that I forgot to mention in my previous video, which one of you messaged me about, was personal identity and social identity. So up till now we have been talking about what do we think of ourselves in our mind, how do we see ourselves as in our own mind, and that is our self concept, right? So we have been talking about personal self and social self. Then now comes something called personal identity and social identity. Well, many times they are used synonymously. They are not the same. So, even though they are not the same thing, what you should understand is there's a very thin line that divides the understanding between what is personal self and what is personal identity. And at your level, at class 12 level, I think NCERT and CBSE does not expect you to understand both these terms separately. So, at your level right now, what you need to understand is your own concept of your personal self, what you think about yourself as an individual, along with all the facts and information about you and your life, along with your attitude, beliefs, and opinions that you have, help you form your personal identity. Okay, so my name is Deepshika Uppal. I'm 34 years old, and I'm 5 feet 5 inches tall, and along with that, all the things that you included in your personal self concept together will help you form your identity, which will be your personal identity. Similarly, everything that you think about yourself as part of your social self together will help you form your social identity. So, I'm an Indian, I'm a Hindu, I belong to that college, I belong to this group, that group. All these things collectively helps form your identity socially. So, your personal self will help form your personal identity, and your social self will help form your social identity. Okay, so most of the time in boards, what I've seen is what they want is for you to understand how what is self concept and how it has got two different components of it, your own individual self and your social self, and whether or not you're able to distinguish between the two properly. Okay, so I hope things stand more clear now, and you guys will be able to attempt the assignment that I gave you. Okay, so in the next video we'll be taking the concept of self concept a little bit forward. Bye bye.